All right. I'll call the meeting to order. We'll pledge and moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. Before we start, I do want to let everyone know that we are live streaming the meeting on our YouTube channel. First order of business, citizens' requests or concerns. Is there anyone who'd like to address council? Yes.
I have two concerns.
Can you please state your name
My name
and
is
address?
Bill Boyd. I live at 28 South Duke Street in Millersville.
Thank you.
I was reading the website today, trying to find minutes for council. The last time they were updated was March 28th. I don't know what you guys are doing. If you don't update your minutes, please do so.
All right, thank you.
Second concern is property inspections. Our borough goes through lots of ups and downs with the way it looks. It looks very trashy to me. I think it was, I'll put it in here. March 15th, I met with the code officer to inspect one of my rental properties. I verbally spoke to him about how the borough worked and gave him a list of properties for him to consider doing something about. June 2nd, June 2023, I didn't see much of an improvement. I came in here and filled out complaint forms. I'm here to present to you again, third time, hopefully something gets done. I'll give to you, Council President, the list of properties that I presented. And I would hope that something gets done. This is within 1 block of my home. I can only imagine how bad the entire borough looks. My feeling is you're subbing out your code enforcement to somebody else, third party. It's not getting done. If you're not gonna do better than that, I'll throw my hat in the ring and take the job. Seriously. And I'm retired. I don't want a job. But I think our borough is looking pretty sloppy right now.
All right.
As I said, that's 1 block from my home.
All right, thank you for this. I'll make sure our code enforcement officer gets these. We do contract out our code and zoning officer position since last year, and the consensus is that he's been doing a great job. It's not his job to go out and inspect non-rental properties. So the appropriate approach is to fill out a form or reach out via email or stop in the office to let him know that there is another resident complaint about an issue. And he will.
This is the second time the form's being filled out. The ordinance is there for a reason. I would hope that council sees fit to enforce it.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to share with council? All right. Thank you, Bill. We'll move on to reports of boards and commissions, and we have members of the Park Commission here. Yeah, do what you want.
Good? Yeah. Okay. All right, so good evening. My name is Brooke. In case you guys didn't know, I am the chair of the Parks Commission. In case the public was unaware, we are the committee that oversees the happenings at Freedom Park in Millersville. So just right a stone's throw over that way. As many people know, the borough has recently completed a comprehensive plan We're excited to see so many different ideas and how to make use of the green space in the community. While reviewing the results, we realized our own park master plan was about 15 years old. We thought instead of trying to mesh the master plan with today's public opinion, we should go through the process of updating our master plan. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Lauren Dissinger.
So my name is Lauren Dissinger, and I volunteered on the comprehensive plan committee that took a little over a year. During this time, I actively participated in that planning process, including staffing the parks station at the public meeting that we had at Eshelman. It was really fun to feel the energy of the community and hear all of their different ideas, not only for Freedom Park, but also for the borough as a whole. Inspired by this, I asked to join the Parks Commission, and here we are. It became evident, though, after my first meeting with the team, that an updated master plan incorporating these new ideas from the comprehensive plan was really the right process to take. So I suggested that we contact Charlie, and Charlie was the gentleman who took us through the whole comprehensive plan, and he introduced us to a colleague at his company who would be able to help us come up with an estimate for the park plan and a scope of work. So our intention by doing this was to leverage the same company that did the comprehensive plan, aiming to hopefully have some cost savings and also leverage the results that we got through the public survey. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Karen.
I'm Karen DeLong, and I was inspired to join the Parks Commission through Lauren at that meeting at Eshelman. In speaking with Charlie's contact, we were given an estimate for a similar sized project to get an idea of what would be needed and how much it would cost. We were very careful in deciding what areas we must keep in our plan proceedings, as there are requirements that we have to meet to be eligible to receive other grant funds, such as the DCNR. For the Borough of Portland project, that's a similar project that was given to us. They had an area that we were able to eliminate completely, as we don't need to do an architectural assessment. There were a variety of meetings and key person interviews that have to happen. And we confirmed that with careful selection and planning, we can combine some of those meetings and meet the key person interview criteria by recruiting committee members that are representative from different age groups and aspects of our borough. We can then carry over portions of the recently completed borough comprehensive plan, avoiding paying twice for the same actions. After paring down what we could while keeping the key tasks to still qualify for future grants, our total planning cost estimate came back at $6,960 over our previously approved funding for the plan. The survey that was completed by our community has been a huge motivation for us to update the park master plan, and we're confident that if approval were given for the additional funds, we can create a welcoming recreational space that would benefit the whole of the borough. That's what we're working with.
What
right.
kind of questions do you all have?
What was the approved budget amount was 35? Okay. Andy, is there anything you want to add?
Everything costs more now.
Yeah.
Costs more, doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, I think it was smart to go to who just finished the comp plan. That was the best deal you were gonna,
Right.
I think financially, that was the smart thing to do. So, you know, I can certainly
And since they're working
support it.
with us
Right.
to try and combine elements and work with the
Exactly.
people that have to be involved, to not have so many different portions, it really cut down.
And just keeping the momentum too,
Mhm.
with, you know, what you just finished up with the complete comprehensive, I think is good. I think it's a good time to keep moving with it. And again, I'm just gonna mention it because it's like always in the back of my mind, and I'm sure you guys probably all know it, that Manor Township wants to develop all those farms on the other side of that park. And so, you know, being able to get a good updated comprehensive plan, I think is critical right now with that potential development happening.
Any other questions or comments for
And
them?
Maggie, I think just to piggyback off of that, it just gives us a better idea of what green areas are usable, what need to stay a hill, what can become like something else. I mean, we've had countless requests for pickleball courts and who knows what else. So it kind of will give us a better idea of what we can look at moving into the future and what.
And that last update, I mean, there was a decision, I remember the conversation, to keep it a passive park. So are we changing that? You know, with this new, is that, or, you know, are we changing from passive to more?
I think the general consensus is they want it to be a active park. I don't think we were looking to do something put into our green space and keep it a passive, pleasant space.
Quiet park.
Quiet park.
Brooke, are you looking for a decision from council tonight?
I think that what we're looking for is a decision from council tonight, and then I'm not sure, Lauren, maybe you can provide some insight. Would it have to go to public health or public works, or?
No.
Okay.
Once- If there's a decision from council
And what are we deciding specifically?
To increase the budget.
to approve an additional $6,000
I'll
for the,
move to increase the budget to fund
To
it.
41,000.
What you said?
41,960, so it's an additional
To
6,960.
41,960.
And those are funds not coming from the Rudder Trust, but coming from the general fund.
Correct.
Correct, yeah.
Did you second?
I'll second it.
Was there a motion?
yes, yes, Maggie made the motion. Thank you, Phyllis, for the second. Any other questions?
Yeah, this doesn't have to go through finance committee first or anything like that.
Because it came here.
We can just go right through with it.
Yeah.
Okay. The first number that approved went through finance first, and then,
It was in the budget.
It was in
Okay.
the annual
Okay.
budget, yeah. Because there was the decision made to pursue a master plan. I think the comprehensive plan, the work that was done, it was very clear in the survey results that the community sees the park as a substantial asset, and we should do what we can to capitalize on it, make it the most that we can for our community.
Again, to piggyback on that, I think it's a substantially underutilized asset that
Yep.
has a lot of potential.
Yep.
And as long as we can update this master plan and say, in 6 months, we're gonna do X, in a year, we're gonna do Y, and the public has that knowledge, I think it gives a lot of,
Gives an open door to fundraising.
Absolutely.
And things,
Yeah.
so just having that would be super helpful.
All right, great. Well, we have a motion and a second, so I'll call for the vote. All those in favor of updating the master plan budget to $41,960 signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, thank you for the work you're doing.
all right, thanks.
All right, I don't believe we have Civil Service Commission report, nor anything out of finance. Linda, did you want to give an update on Lafayette Place from Public Works?
Yes, we just, on the 6th, actually, Joselle sent an email to Greg and members of the council, and she says that she still has not received a title search or other required information to process a street dedication, and she suggests that I let the neighbors know that just because their streets are paved does not mean it's accepted. And so I will be talking to Greg to see, what I like to do is to make sure that she puts the wording in place, and then I go ahead and give her wording to the neighbors, so I don't have any issues. So I'll do that.
Moving on to personnel.
Yes, we have a number of things. It's amazing what could crop up in 2 weeks. But let me begin by saying tomorrow's Personnel Committee meeting has been canceled because we will be able to deal with these 3 items tonight. So I will be making motions and will appreciate seconds. The first motion is to consider the appointment of a part-time clerk, a woman named Julie A. Fry, conditioned upon a background check.
I'll second.
Thank you. And before we vote, I'm going to ask Sue McCullough if she'd care to comment. It's okay if you don't. Okay.
Just a little background, the part-time clerk position has been open since May 1st. We ran advertisement on Indeed, the Lancaster newspaper, and the website. We received over 40 applications and resumes. We narrowed that down to 13, which I called. We scheduled 11 interviews. Greg and I completed the interviews, reviewed the applicants' resumes, and we decided that Julie Fry had the most customer service experience, and she seems like she'll be a good fit for the borough and for our residents. So Greg, myself, and the administrative office are asking council to appoint her
Thank you, Sue. And you have a motion,
All
a
right,
second?
yep, motion and a second.
I'll second.
Already seconded.
Oh, did you?
Yep, it's already been seconded.
I-
All those in favor of awarding the part-time clerk position to Julie A. Fry pending a background check, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? All right.
I'm making the next motion to accept the resignation of Lindsay Gerner from the Zoning Hearing Board. Lindsay has served on the Zoning Hearing Board for a great many years, so I'm making this motion with regret. She has served for many years as the president of the Zoning Hearing Board, and you will recall at the last council meeting, we appointed a new person. So we're going to have a vacancy on the Zoning Hearing Board, and I will be advertising that. But I made a motion, I will entertain a second.
Second?
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments on that? All right. Everyone in favor of accepting the resignation of Lindsay Gerner from the Zoning Hearing Board with regret, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Abstained? All right.
And the next one is kind of a rubber stamp. We have a police sergeant, Sergeant Reynolds, who would like to take courses, and if there is a provision in the police contract that enables him to do so with certain parameters, one of which is before he starts taking those courses, we have to prove his doing so. It's one of his benefits under the contract, and so I make a motion to allow him to do that. If we allow him to do it, then he may be reimbursed. And once again, there are some parameters. It can't be more than a certain amount, and he has to get a certain grade. But I make a motion that we approve his taking those
I'll
courses.
second.
Now, this was not on the agenda.
It is on the agenda
Online.
published
Oh,
on the
okay.
website.
Okay,
But
excellent,
evidently,
excellent.
this particular agenda was prepared before.
Okay, as
But
long as
it
that.
is, it is
And
published.
I'm looking at it.
All right,
so
great,
Yeah.
it's
great.
there.
All right, you made the motion.
And Chris made a second.
No.
No, Linda did.
Linda snuck in, got the second. All right. Great. Questions, comments? All right, everyone in favor of approving the continuing education funds for Officer Reynolds, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained? All right, great, thank you. Mayor?
Thank you very much. Not too much, just to let everybody know that next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be attending the Pennsylvania Mayor's Conference in Lancaster. And looking at the agenda, there's a lot of interesting things on there, so I'm looking forward to that agenda. One of them is dealing with some of the homeless population that this county is facing. Working very closely with Lancaster County Housing and Redevelopment Authority, who now oversees the Homeless Coalition. And I think Lauren's aware of this from some of the meetings she's been to as well. There's a severe problem in Lancaster County of over 500 people that have no roof over their head. And that doesn't really count those who are couch surfing in someone else's house or living in vehicles. So looking at ideas and ways that the county can address those situations. So looking forward to that meeting, but just to let everybody know that I'll be at those meetings next week.
Nice.
Which reminds me that the Tomato Festival is Saturday. So you'll miss it, but I just wanted, that's from Blue Rock. Tomato Festival Saturday.
All right. We don't have a Penn Manor report. We'll move on to the president's report. I wanted to share that, similar to the mayor, I will be attending the Borough Association, the Lancaster County Borough Association meeting July 26th. So I'll get some great information from our fellow boroughs in the county. I also wanted to provide an update about the non-uniform personnel contract. There was a in-person negotiation in March, and that is going along swimmingly. I can't give any details out publicly, but we should be able to take action on that sometime in the near future. Next is the acceptance of the resignation of the borough manager. I did receive Greg's resignation, asking for his last day to be July 19th. I did have several conversations with him about potentially extending that. He chose not to come tonight, so I'm not
Well,
sure that
Madam
we,
President, I make a motion to accept the resignation of the borough manager.
So we aren't gonna have an executive meeting to discuss it?
Well, my
Well-
motion's on the table. Is there a second?
it for discussion.
all right. Now, we could potentially go into executive session. I know we had discussed that. I don't know if there's much benefit to that at this point, but we have a motion and a second.
Call the
So
question.
we'll go ahead and take the vote. I guess we'll do a roll call vote for this. All,
Okay, so, no, I'm against.
Well, she'll has to do the
She
roll
has to
call.
call your name.
Oh.
all those in favor of accepting,
Well, it's a roll call, so she has to call everybody's name.
but I wanted everyone to hear
To
the
understand the
motion,
motion.
that we're accepting his resignation.
No, I don't accept his resignation.
Ms. Weininger? Yes. Ms. Gerber?
I can't hear you.
She called your name.
Yes.
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 No.
No. All right, the motion passes. We will begin working to find a replacement borough manager with all council involved in that discussion and search. I don't believe we have unfinished business, and I don't see a reason to have an executive session, but if someone would like to, they can make a motion to enter executive session. Otherwise, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right,
Second.
all right, thank you, Chris. All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone.
Lauren, did you not